A 50-foot monster filmed gliding across a lake in Turkey, a trail cam that caught an unidentified creature standing in the woods at 3 a.m., and a night drive in Norway that ended with a pale creature charging out of the darkness. These are real cryptids caught clearly on camera. What you're looking at here is some of the most infamous sea creature footage ever filmed. Over in eastern Turkey, there's a massive body of water called Lake Van. It's the largest lake in the country, stretching about 75 miles across in some places and dropping more than 1,400 feet deep. For years, people living around the lake have talked about something big moving through the water. The Lake Van monster. The modern sightings really started piling up in 1995. People along the shoreline started reporting a huge creature swimming just under the surface. Witnesses described this long, dark body moving through the water with several humps rising behind it. Some estimated the creature could be 40 to 50 feet long, with a thick body and a head that occasionally lifted above the water before disappearing again. Then in 1997, a man named Unal Kozak captured this incredible footage on camera. Kozak, who was working at a nearby university at the time, filmed the thing gliding across the surface of the lake. The clip quickly spread, and suddenly people all over Turkey were talking about what might be living in the lake. The story's become such a big part of the area that the nearby city of Van even put up a statue of the creature along the lakeshore. For the people who live around Lake Van, this thing isn't some legend. It's something they've been talking about for decades. And plenty of them are convinced there's still something living out there in that water. What on God's green earth is this abomination? This next entry comes from a now deleted Reddit user who wrote, "So I've had this trail camera set up behind my cabin for about 7 months now. It's mainly there to see what animals come through the area. Usually it's the same stuff every week. Deer, raccoons, foxes, sometimes a black bear if I'm lucky. Nothing unusual. Last night though, the camera triggered at 3:17 a.m. and this image was the only thing it recorded. What's weird is that the camera normally takes a short burst of photos whenever motion triggers it. Usually I get 3 or 4 shots in a row of the animal walking through the frame, but this time there was just this single photo, and then nothing else before or after. But damn is that one photo terrifying. At first I thought maybe it was a coyote with mange, but the legs look way too long and the body shape looks all wrong. It looks more upright than a normal animal would. The eyes are also throwing me off. I know animals can have that reflective glow from infrared cameras, but these look really bright compared to the deer photos I normally get. For context, this is taken about 40 yards behind my cabin, right at the edge of the woods. Has anyone seen anything like this before? I'm genuinely curious what this could be. This video's been floating around the internet for a long time. I've never talked about it on the channel before though. So back in 2006, a strange video started circulating online that supposedly came from somewhere in the forests of Norway. The clip shows 2 guys driving late at night, joking around in their car while music plays on the radio. At some point, they leave the main highway and take a rough shortcut through a fenced-off forest road. They drive deeper and deeper into the woods until they eventually stop the car after noticing something strange out in the darkness. The guys step out of the car, looking toward the trees. The forest is completely dark, but you can hear odd noises coming from somewhere, like low grunts and squealing sounds, kind of like a pig. And as you see, suddenly something moves. Out of the darkness, a pale figure appears and charges toward them. As for what the creature is, it's hard to make out. The video quality isn't great, seeing as this is a 20-year-old video at this point. I can't believe 2006 is 20 years ago. Some say the thing looks like a strange humanoid shape with a wide open mouth and what looks like a hood, maybe a flap of skin hanging over its head. Something the head shape looks almost pig-like. This strange video comes from Richard Gremnick on YouTube. He'd spotted something in his backyard and pulled out his iPad to try and get some footage of it. Right from the jump, he's calling up his pastor named Mike to tell him what's going on.
People think I'm nuts. It's on video, it's playing right now. I put the iPad in the window and now this thing's coming up to the steps in my backyard, Mike.
Goes on to say that this was the second time in the week he'd seen the thing. It's this pale-looking creature, kind of like a rake or Gollum from Lord of the Rings. Richard describes it looking almost like a gargoyle, though.
Oh my God, like a gargoyle. It's like a gargoyle, man. and it's like 35 feet away, and it came out of those weeds. You know what I'm talking about?
The thing retreats back into the bush after a while, but before Richard has a chance to calm down and collect his thoughts, it creeps out again. At this point, his pastor is reciting a prayer.
Oh my God, there it is, Mike. It came back. Oh my gosh. This thing is looking weird. Oh my gosh.
Luckily, with the power of Mike the pastor, the creature slowly skulks back into the bush for a second time, just when the call disconnects. This is a rather famous photograph in cryptid circles, said to be a massive creature shot dead and put up on display at a museum in Arizona. Supposedly, it's a Thunderbird. The Thunderbird comes from Native American legends. It's usually described as a gigantic bird with wings that can stretch close to 20 feet across. According to the stories, when it beats those huge wings, it can actually create thunder and lightning storms. People in Arizona have claimed to see birds that size flying overhead, especially around the Grand Canyon, and some of those sightings have happened fairly recently. But one of the most well-known stories goes all the way back to the late 1800s. Two cowboys near Tombstone said they spotted a massive bird sitting on a rocky ledge out in the desert. They fired at it several times and eventually brought it down. Story goes, they hauled the creature back into town and put it on display in a local shop so that people could come and see it for themselves. But that's far from the only story. Over the years, plenty of people have claimed to see enormous birds flying over Arizona. Some say they looked like a giant condors with huge feathered wings. Others insist the shape looked more like something prehistoric, almost like a pterodactyl gliding through the sky. For years, the colossal squid has been one of the ocean's most mysterious giants. People have known the animal exists for a little bit now, but almost everything we know about it comes from pieces pulled out of fishing nets or from beaks found inside the stomachs of sperm whales. Nobody had actually seen one alive down in the deep ocean where it lives. That finally changed during a deep-sea expedition in March of 2025. Researchers exploring the South Atlantic Ocean near the South Sandwich Islands were sending a remotely operated submersible down in the darkness, about 600 meters or nearly 2,000 feet below. While the cameras were scanning the water, something floated into view. This pale, almost glass-like squid slowly moving through the black water. And when researchers later looked at the footage, they realized what it actually was. The cameras had just captured the first confirmed video of a living colossal squid in its natural habitat. The squid in the video was still young, only about 30 centimeters long, roughly a foot, which is tiny compared to what the species can eventually become. Fully grown colossal squids can reach around 7 meters or about 23 feet long and weigh over 1,000 pounds. Even at that small size, the animal already had some of the characteristics that make the species so unique. Colossal squids have rotating hooks on their arms and tentacles, which they use to grab their prey. Unlike most squid that rely mainly on suction cups, these hooks act almost like grappling hooks. What the heck is this thing? This weird video was originally posted on LiveLeak by a user named Eknif. Apparently the footage was captured by Thai fishermen. I have no idea what I'm looking at here, and neither did the fishermen. The shape of it though, with the long neck and the flippers, it almost looks like a baby plesiosaur, kind of like Nessie. But some commenters say it could be a turtle without its shell. Not sure about that though. I've looked up turtles without shells. They don't have this shape. This thing's body isn't round like a sea turtle's, but what do you all think? Couldn't do a video like this without at least one Sasquatch video. The footage comes from Ericus Maximus on YouTube, who was out ATV riding with his kid in Gumhill, West Virginia, when they spotted this large hairy creature trudge across the river ahead of them. Check this out. The thing clearly wasn't moving like a bear. In the video description, he said that the footage was captured around 6:30 p.m. It was the second time he'd seen the creature, but the first time he managed to capture it on video. There have been stories about this 7-foot-tall hairy creature for over 100 years. Supposedly, it's quite reclusive and non-aggressive, but what do you think about this video? Genuine, Bigfoot-like creature captured on camera, or is this one just a hoax? Share your thoughts down below. I have been your host, James, and I will catch you, yes, you specifically, in the next one.